And today we're going to be finding out exactly how laggy entities are for your world and your client. Is it going to affect your frames per second if you've got millions of entities all stuck in one spot, roaming around or banging against each other? And how much does it affect the server? There's only one way to find out, Slack, and that's using our incredibly handy tools. We've got 3 of them now. We've got our server redstone-y thing that tells us how well the server's doing. We have our frames per second thing, which tells us how many frames per second we're getting. And as you can see on the screen, we also have an entity counter, which means if we've got an item on the floor, I will go up to 1. If there's an armor stand, the A will go up. And if there's lots and lots of entities, then the entity count will go up as well. So we basically need about 100 chickens in this thing here, don't we, Slack?
That's a few chickens.
We've got 96. 100 chickens. The server doesn't seem to care really all that much. It's dancing around a little bit more than normal.
But chicken cookers are notoriously laggy, Foxy.
Frames per second doesn't seem all that bothered as well. I wonder if I get in there and spread them about a bit.
Uh-oh. You're going to make them mad.
Just shove around. Like, go, there we go.
No, they don't want to move.
It made any difference at all?
Nope.
No. So 100 chickens is not enough for our testing, is what I'm saying. You see how they're separating onto the corners of the block? That didn't used to happen in Bedrock, but that happens on Java Edition.
Oh.
200. And the server says... it's gone down a little bit. A little time. Oh, no, it's not bad. It has gone down a little bit. It's a little bit more dancing around than it was. My frames per second really don't care.
My frame per second's dropped. I'm down to 160.
What if we had 300 chickens? Oh, that's doing some damage.
Oh, that's doing a lot of damage.
So 300 there. My frames per second still on 120.
I'm still at 130. My frames per second's a lot better than it used to be, considering that they're all in like a 1x1. That's interesting. But what about the server?
Yeah, the server's not happy at all. It's not happy at all. So normally, like if we were doing redstone, we would notice that either the odd or the even ticks, depending on whichever one the world happened to be processing redstone on, would drop significantly, but the other one would be catching up. Whereas these are entities, so they get split over both. And that then has a very detrimental on the server because we're now actually on an average running at way below what the server should be running at in terms of ticks per second.
That's 300 in one hoe. Is that going to be our baseline?
I am using VSync. I wish I could turn that off. Do you want to give me a couple of minutes to see if I can turn that off? What I've fathomed out is if I'm not in full screen, I can get uncapped frames per second, but if I'm in full screen, it caps down to 120. So I'm going to have to record in not full screen, which is fine.
Okay.
So I'm getting 270-ish frames per second with all those chickens there.
I'm holding 120.
Yeah, I've just added another command block in to get rid of eggs because these little monkeys are starting to lay eggs. But I think we should kill them all off and start again to get like a full read on this frames per second thing. So now I've gone up to nearly 1,000 frames per second. That's good, isn't it?
I'm capped at 120 now.
Jeez. How come you're capped now?
I don't know. If I go full screen, I'm still 120. If I go unfull screen, I'm 120.
But you weren't a minute ago.
Exactly. I was at like 500, 600 frames. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Do you want a minute or should we carry on?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, let's throw in 100 chickens again then, jeez. Hey, 100 chickens. So that has taken me down to around about 600. So there's a significant drop from 900 to 600.
I'm holding perfectly fine at 120.
Yeah. But if I go full screen, then I just go back to 120. So it just shows you. Oh, I couldn't click it off fast enough. Okay. Kill at E. Type equals chicken. But C, that gives you a count. How many have we got? 310?
310, yep.
There we go. Just kill 10 of them. So 300 chickens. I'm down to 260 frames per second. And the server, the server doesn't like it at all. In the good old days, when you used to have lots of chickens in the chicken cooker, it was really bad because they were all colliding with each other and the game was doing loads of collision-based calculations. But now they all just stand still.
Okay. But before we run away with the 1x1, put them on the hopper because that would make it a non-full block, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's exactly the same for me on my frames per second, and the server. Yeah, it's okay with that. It's not too bad. 300 chickens in a hopper. Exactly the same frames per second, and the server still hates us.
I think it hates us more.
I don't know. The average was down to... Yeah, there's a lot more dotting around all over the place.
It's down to 9.
Yeah, but that max is dotting around a lot. I don't think it's that much different from them being on a full block. So we're going to do two things. We're going to have some 300 chickens in a small pen and see if them banging about each other is a big problem, and then 300 chickens in a bigger pen and see if them just playing like free-range roaming chickens is a big problem, right?
Oh God.
And now we're getting that weird ticking noise, which you didn't get when they're all on one block.
It's so weird. What is that noise?
I don't know. It's strange, isn't it? So I am down to, it's about the same, down to about 600 again. In fact, I should probably write these on, shouldn't I? Let's just put FPS 600. FPS minor was 260 on the 300, and I should put like a plain one. Nothing, 900 plus. So the server is running at then with 100 chickens, 20 frames per second, 20 ticks per second, sorry. Okay, so again, frames per second is exactly the same, down to about 260, and the server says, the server's actually happier. It's still
happier than...
holding it 20, sorry.
So it's happier with them moving than in a 1x1.
So maybe they haven't improved it then. Maybe them all still being on one block, it's still doing a lot of calculations for collisioning, even though it looks like they are there and they all look like they're in the same place. They've got AI here, whereas before they didn't because they were all on one spot, but yet the server is still happier with them like this than it is with them all on one block. Oh, look at that. Bang on, Slack. Well done. Okay. Frames per seconds, again, it's down to about 600. So it is just the number of chickens, and the server says, I don't care. But they've got a little bit more room to roam. So is that better or worse for the server? Again, frames per second, exactly the same, down to 260. And the server's pretty much exactly the same as it was.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much doesn't care.
So as long as they've got a little bit of room to move around and wiggle around then, the server's fine with it. But if they're all on one block, then that's bad.
All right, I feel like one more silly minor test.
Wow, they are going crazy. And there's a ball of them there. Can you see that ball of chickens there?
Yeah.
Slowly, like, separating. That is lower. Oh, no, it's all over the place. Yeah, I'd say the frames per second's about the same. That horrible ticking's back again.
Yep, the horrible ticking's back.
We didn't have the ticking when they were in here, though, did we?
No.
What's the server say, Slack? Is the server happy or sad?
Says...
That's fine.
It's fine considering what's going on there. But man, they are not happy, it doesn't look like.
No. Oh. Okay. It is slightly less, but it's kind of the same. My frames per second. It's about the same. And server's still fine. It is lower. The max... No, there you go. It's gone back up again. Yeah, so server's managing.
Just look at it, Foxy. Hold on, let's try to make them mad. Hold on, let's see what this does. We should have done this test earlier, too.
What's that?
Hi, do y'all like seeds? No, they don't care.
They're trying to come to the fence. They're looking at you. The next set of tests then, Slack. We need to do the same thing again over here, but have them in water this time. The reason is, I've been told time and time again that the reason villagers don't change their trade and don't mess around if you put them in water is because it stops them being able to use their AI. And if you look at the behavior code for a villager, basically any behavior, AI behavior an entity has, they're in order of, they've got a priority. And float, the villager, is the highest priority thing. So if it's in water, all it's trying to do is float. And if that's taking over because it's the highest priority, it can't be doing other things like wandering around looking for workstations.
Okay, so this is a villager test then, because your normal mobs isn't going to make any kind of difference with you wouldn't put your chickens in water. There'd be no reason.
Well, it'd be interesting to find out though, wouldn't it? My frames per second is lower, but there's a lot of particles going on, so I'm down to about 400 and something. What does the server think? Is it happier or sad?
It doesn't care.
It doesn't care.
Okay, my frames are dying. Yeah,
I have gone down to 120-ish, 100. It's starting around. It is really low now, my frames per second. And the server's a lot happier than it was without the water.
Wow.
So there you go.
So the server doesn't care, but my frames do.
There's some weird stuff going on there.
But we don't have the silly sound.
I want to just remove that water.
Server doesn't like that now.
No, it's gone a lot lower, and it's not bouncing back.
I did not expect that.
They're putting the water back.
God, server's happy, but...
Yeah, server back up to 20 ticks per second. Look how much they're jumping now.
I know, it's crazy.
What if it was a waterlogged hopper? Frames are better. They're still...
Yeah, my frames...
a little bit lower because of the particles. But I'm just wondering about when all of those baby chickens grow up. Is that the reason why it's better? And is that the reason why we're splashing? It's a shame we can't, like, force grow them. Oh, actually, event entity at E type equals chicken. Age will grow up. There we go.
Oh.
So now they're all adults. Yeah, it's not quite as happy, but it is still happier. No, it's fine. It's actually loads better.
Wow. I did not expect that one at all, neither. I feel almost confused by that, but okay.
Yeah, because they're not floating.
No. If I go in there, is it going to make them mad?
Yeah, now they're all on the side. It's still not awful. Let's take away the water. Well, that's interesting because we're getting a different result now. Let me replace that block with a solid block.
Did we break their AI?
Something's changed. Maybe it's because there's no babies there anymore and they're not like ticking to grow up.
Babies bad?
Huh, well, I think we need to do these tests again and get rid of the babies. Right, there's only one way to test this. 300 chickens on there, babies and all. In fact, you know what? I'm going to go crazy, Slack. I'm going to go 500 chickens.
Do it. Someone said you wouldn't.
Yeah, well, I will. You wait and see.
Okay.
500 chickens
Oh,
sat on a
God.
command block has taken our average down to 8 ticks per second.
Yeah, it does not like that at all.
But what if they're all grown up? It doesn't make any difference now. Drop down a bit, if anything. Right, now they're all babies.
Oh, you made them all babies. Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to matter. Oh, no, it's all over the place.
Okay. Right. Minor test. All right, I'm moving your chickens. Hold on.
Hang on, Slack, before you do that. I think I have noticed there's a difference between adults and babies. Adults, we're getting an average 8. If I make them babies, it does drop down significantly. Yeah, it's dropped all the way down to like average of 6 ticks per second. Adult again. There we go, it's climbing. Remember, this is over the last 4 seconds, which is actually over the last 4 seconds in terms of ticks, and because the ticks are running slower, it's actually slower than 4 seconds. But yeah, babies worse than adults. Right, do your TP thing.
Give them water first.
Oh, okay. Hang on then. Hasn't really improved much at all. Strangely this time. Perhaps if anything, I'd say it's mildly worse. No, it is bouncing back up to about 8. And if they're all babies, really steady 8.3 frames per second with them as babies, and as adults, yeah, it's dropping down a lot. So adult chickens in water are worse than baby chickens in water, but baby chickens in air are worse than adult chickens in air.
But we can say with absolute certainty that 500 chickens is bad.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Chickens move.
Whee! There they go. Oh, and that lovely ticking's back.
Sound.
The server's much happier now. It's going all the way back up to an average of 20 ticks per second. Look at that. Do you want to see if it prefers them being babies?
Yeah, go for it.
No, it's gone lower again. Or is that just because of the result of them all changing? No, it is lower. Yeah, so babies definitely worse than adults.
I guess because the game's calculating the extra ticks to see if they need to grow up.
Yeah. And babies also have another AI component which makes them follow adult things.
Give them one adult chicken. Yep.
Oh, I can do that with this actually. If I just do count 1. Right. Apparently in there somewhere. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're swarming this chicken. The poor chicken. It's trying to get away. Look at them all coming to it. Whatever you do, don't have 499 children. Bad for your server.
Yeah. Hey, y'all like seeds? Oh
Whoa,
my god.
Wow, that's really... Jeez.
Wow. No
We're
seed?
learning a lot about chickens today. Adult chickens chasing seeds. Not as much of a problem.
No seeds.
But still a problem.
Seeds?
Yeah, just drop it down a bit. That chasing those seeds. Wow.
All right. Here, y'all going in a smaller pen now.
Oh, jeez.
Is there AI still trying to pathfind over there?
I think so. Yeah, maybe hold some seeds in the middle.
Yeah. Oh, hi. I got some seeds, guys.
They're all just stuck around the edges. Yeah, that's small.
Wow.
That's worse again. So it does seem the smaller the box, the worse it gets.
Smaller box, you say?
Good luck.
Want some seeds?
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. What? Wow, this is crazy. So again, just hold that there. Just hold still. Perfectly still, Slack. Let it settle. And I'm going to make them all babies. Yeah, it drops again. So yeah, baby's bad. Adult's good. But apparently in water, it's different. Because that makes perfect sense.
I'm not sure where to go with a true consensus on this one.
Well, we wanted to test more than just chickens, really, didn't we?
Yes.
I think we should do villagers and try villagers in water. But yeah, I think that's interesting. I definitely didn't expect to learn that baby chickens are worse than chickens. Imagine how much trading you get if you had 300 villagers all on one spot, though, Slack. That's what, you know, this is advanced game stuff. This is late game.
Oh, I got to do this. I'm sorry. I got to. Give me an emerald. Hi.
Are villagers worse than chickens? Frames per second is certainly a lot worse, but then you would expect that because there's a lot more going on. And there's 300 of them, average ticks per second of 12. So yeah, villagers...
Can you turn them into babies?
So now there's no babies.
No, you just took away all their jobs.
Well, I made them... Got rid of all the babies as well. Boom. So are baby villagers worse than big villagers? There's only one way to find out. It's looking around about 12 still. And big old villagers... No, it's the same. So
same.
Baby villagers and big villagers, there really isn't a great deal of difference at this level. I mean, say big villagers are actually slightly less, but it is averaging out.
Okay, so now you're curious of putting them in water.
Yeah. Is it better? No, not really.
No.
What about if they're all free roaming, Slack? Do you want to TP them over to one of your fields?
Well, guys, could we interest you in, coming over here? Boop.
Whoa. It's like the TARDIS thing when all of the the Daleks are coming out of their prison ship.
It reminds me of the Thanos scene with Doctor Strange.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, the more they split apart, the better the game's getting. We're almost, with 300 villagers there, we're almost at 20 frames per second, but still not. Whereas with chickens, we were. So villagers are worse than chickens. Beep. And baby villagers, fine.
I wonder if this is a collision hitbox thing.
It must be just the size of them and this collision thing that's going on then, because these ones have just got more room to run about. Oh, you got a ball of them again, Slack. You got a few balls of them. Villagers bad, baby villagers less bad. Oh, here we go, mayhem. That's surprisingly going up.
Why?
So in this situation, babies is worse. Oh, no, it's coming back again. No, it's coming back. It's so weird. So either way, it doesn't matter. If you've got 300 villagers in an area, it's bad.
Okay.
Oh, one thing we didn't test, Slack, you wanted to test armor stands, didn't you?
Yes, do excessive amounts of armor stands cause lag? Because a lot of people like to use them for decorations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I've been asked many times, do they generate lag?
So we actually need 102 here for there to be 100. Okay, so 100 armor stands on a block. Server doesn't care. Frames per second is significantly lower than it was before. Like I'm at 200, whereas it took it took 500 of the other things to get me that low. No, 300.
My FPS doesn't care.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
300. Really, really, really bad for frames per second. The server doesn't care.
Server doesn't care.
Because they've got no AI. But what if we made them float?